Hello, this is Mia with the Rainbow Cauldron, and today is your daily general tarot reading for February the 7th, 2014. And the first card that I put down will be from the Druid Animal Oracle deck, and it will represent the general theme throughout the day or something to think about, something to keep in mind. And the four cards surrounding this will be from the Sacred Sites Tarot deck and will represent morning, afternoon, early evening, and nighttime. Okay, so the first card is the otter. I love the otter. He's so carefree. And that's pretty much exactly what the otter represents. This sort of playful attitude, not taking things too seriously, freedom, really just a sort of happiness and playfulness, joy, go with the flow, freedom and pleasure, carefree attitude. That sort of energy, and that's a good thing to start to remember for today. That's a really positive energy. So I'm glad we're seeing that, especially after yesterday's somewhat negative reading, depending on how you interpret it. Okay, so the four cards surrounding it. In the morning time, we have the Chariot, things moving along. Okay, and then in the afternoon, we have the Seven of Cups. In the early evening, we have the Five of Cups. And at nighttime, we have the Eight of Swords. I like this card. It's interesting. Okay, let me adjust that. Okay, so we're starting off with the Chariot. And this is the Santiago de Compostela, a sanctuary in Spain. That's the final destination in a long journey from France to Spain. So I think this card has a lot to do with possible travel. That's an obvious. And the chariot often makes me think of travel, but it also has to do with things progressing and moving along, embarking on a long journey or project with really prosperous endings. So maybe the beginning of a project that is leading to some prosperity and good things. And there we go. That's starting off the day very positively. With the Seven of Cups at the afternoon, this is Loch Ness. So what I get from this, because typically the Seven of Cups has to do with uh, having many different choices, maybe too many choices. It also has to do with sort of a wishful thinking, thinking that there's more choices than you actually have. And with having Loch Ness representing the Seven of Cups, I feel like this is really talking about that wishful thinking part. Wishful thinking that Loch Ness exists. Wishful thinking that may lead to choices and opportunities that really aren't there. So keep your mind keen on this. Keep your eyes open for this. Don't get too wishful. Don't get too much in your head, and really think about things that are real. Think about the real choices. Sorry about that sound. There's an airplane or helicopter going over right now. Anyway, so a just keeping your eyes sharp about things that um, are just delusions, and really try not to have that wishful thinking and try to think a little bit more logically and look at things from a real perspective instead of a wishful thinking sort of perspective. And that's the feeling that I get from the Seven of Cups there. With the Five of Cups, now this is the Taj Mahal. And the Taj Mahal was created by a Mughal emperor, um, Shah Jahan, and this he created this as a monument to his wife who had died. So, and that's really fitting for the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups represents mourning a loss, and so we're what I sort of see this as, and I'm seeing a connection. This card very much looks like the moon card, and I think I have the moon over here from yesterday. Here's the moon, and here is the Five of Cups, and these two cards are so very similar. Both of them even have the moon in them. So I feel like this has a lot to do with the unknown being shown and maybe not being too happy about that, and which is something I see a connection with this. Maybe that wishful thinking is you've suddenly seen the light of the moon there and seen that maybe Loch Ness does not exist. You know, that sort of and a sort of mourning that dream, that wishful thinking that you had, realizing that that it was just an illusion. And here we see that reflection. You know, this here is an illusion. It's based off of reality. Here's the reality, but this itself is an illusion. And I feel like the Five of Cups is really talking about coming to grips with that and mourning that dream, or mourning that the possibility that really wasn't there to begin with. Okay, and we end the day with the Eight of Swords, and this is such an interesting card. This is the Oracle of Delphi, and with this card, the Eight of Swords, typically it's represent, like in traditional decks, you see a person's blindfolded and kind of wrapped up, and around the person is a whole bunch of swords, and it typically has a meaning that you know, the person is trapped, and but their trap is only illusion, because they could just take off the blindfold and see that there's an easy way out. And with the Oracle of Delphi here, I feel like this is a combination of intuition and illusion. Her nakedness really shows her openness and rawness, and and the oracle here is, she goes off of intuition, but also she is, I mean, she's sitting in a spot where she's inhaling the fumes from the earth there. And I don't know if you have ever read about the Oracle of Delphi. I actually have, so I already knew this story. So this, I really focused a lot on the fact that she was essentially high, you know. So so there's a sense of, sure, there is an intuition, there is a connection to a spiritual self, but there's also a lot of false illusions created by artificial means. So she is somewhat trapped um, by those fumes. Those she's being trapped there, but all she needs to do is realize that she can leave. Um, and there is a sense of trusting your intuition, but being aware of the outside influences. And that's what I really feel like is what this card is saying, is being aware that not everything you're feeling is genuine, and some of it may be influenced by outside forces. And that's sort of the energy I'm feeling here, is being aware of influences that are affecting your choices. Okay, so that is the energy that we're feeling today. We're having a constant reminder to not take things so seriously and to go with the flow, but to not be so stuck with illusions. And that's what these three cards are really showing here. The illusions of Loch Ness, um, mourning the fact that reality is sinking in, and realizing that while we need to uh, follow our intuition, we also need to be logical and realize that some of what we may be feeling may be from outside sources. And yeah, so starting off the day, though, we're starting with some real movement. So just try not to take things too seriously, but also also be logical about things. Okay, and that's kind of the energies we're feeling today. A little bit of a mix. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope it was relevant for you. Thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.